Everybody, welcome back to another edition of Top 1% MLM Earner Coaching. This is James Zhang. If you don't know me, I've been in the network marketing profession for the past 15 years, and the past 13 years have always been in the top 1%. And we've coached, probably now thousands of people to get to the top 1% of the compensation plan as well too. And my objective today is I want to share with you one of the most transformative things that you can do now, especially right before the holiday season, to change the pace of your business, to drive towards the top 1% or more, and to build new lines of business. If that's something that interests you, put a me in the comments below, because this absolutely changed my life. All right. So I remember there was a time in my business that I had a cool business and I hit a title. I had a cool rank. But have you ever been in a place where your income kind of just starts dipping? It seems like people just aren't as excited. It's like you're trying to drag people to come out to the events, trying to figure out who's excited and who's doing some things. And I was in this place where I'm like, man, what do I do? And I was still enrolling, by the way. I was still consistent. I think one of the most important things to be in the top 1% is to be consistent. So are you consistently doing the daily income producing activities? Are you enrolling new customers? Are you enrolling new partners? By the way, feel free to answer this yourself. This last month, how many customers and how many partners have you personally enrolled? How many customers, how many partners have you personally enrolled? I like to make sure that I'm always in phase one. But what happened was I was consistent. I'm going to guess that you're consistent. I'm going to guess if you are listening to this, you are enrolling, you're doing the do, you're showing up to the events, you're going to the trainings. You might be training other people as well too. But I got to a place where even though I was consistent, it's like things weren't happening quickly enough. And I started scratching my head. And I think in these opportunities, in these times, here's a tip. I believe any single person that's going to be a top money earner, they don't do it themselves. Top earners, top performers at any line of work, any line of business, any place in life, they are huge on surrounding themselves around coaches and mentors. So I was very blessed. One of my mentors, shout out to Tim Sales. I went up to them and asked a question. I'm like, Tim, what's going on? I feel like I'm stuck. Am I doing something wrong? You know how you start thinking to yourself and you start going into this negative spiral. People are broke. Maybe it's just not the same. Maybe it's the holidays. Your mind starts going to all these what could be labeled as excuses, because you're trying to justify in your mind why your results are the way that they are. And who here knows many times those are pretty much lies, right? So it's important, especially in those thinking times, go to a mentor. The moment that you capture a negative thought and you feel like you're stuck there, talk to somebody. I'm going to go through a training tip today, but I think if there's any tip that can change your life, it's that right there. Don't get stuck in a negative mind state. It is a stronghold. It will keep you crippled. It is the way that the enemy tries to take you out, distractions and everything. If that makes sense, put make sense in the comments below. Make sure. Some of us today, your one homework assignment, go have a conversation with your mentor. Go have a conversation with your coach. We need to figure some things out. So I went up to Tim and I asked him, I'm like, Tim, so what is it that I need to do? How do I change things around? I looked at my numbers and I was enrolling, a couple people a month type of thing. He said that you need to find a way that in a focused period of time, it's like pulling off the Band-Aid. You have to have a focused burst of energy. A focused burst of energy. I got that from Tim. I also went up to Eric Worre. He said the same thing as well too. He said, have a focused burst of energy. Because energy is caught, not taught. You can build and create your own momentum. And I started to think to myself, and the analogy is this. Eric Worre uses this. It's like if you're trying to get a rocket ship off the ground. Maybe you watched Elon Musk and he just shot a rocket into the space and then he brought it back down. If you've ever watched a rocket ship get off the ground, if you've ever watched an airplane get off the ground, how much energy, how much throttle, how much fuel do you need to get off the ground? If you had 90%, is it enough to get off the ground? If you had 95%, is enough to get off the ground? How about 99% is enough to get off the ground? No, you need, imagine you were a passenger on the airplane or that jet. Wouldn't you want the pilot to go 100% full throttle, make sure that it gets off the ground? Because otherwise, you might be on the news in a much different negative sense. So there's a 100% focus mentality. And in our business, we build in seasons. Like this, you're not always on like this all the time. I think you should have a baseline productivity. But if you want to break out of a rut, if you want to jump towards the top 1%, what I've noticed is every single top 1% earner, they have these spurts in their business where they have a focused, intentional enrollment spree, specifically of new partners, because you're scouting for your next leaders. You're scouting for your next partners. You're looking for the next people to partner with and help as well too. You might have noticed this. This is a very common pattern in network marketing. Who here's ever watched someone brand new launch their business? They exploded. They enrolled a whole bunch of people. They hit the promotions and then they slow down. Have you seen that before? Put a me in the comments if you noticed. Maybe you've gone through that as well too. And there's many reasons for this, right? One of the reasons is you're excited. You have no doubt. You just go and you hit the ground running. Another reason is very realistically, if you're new, you launch something, you're typically talking to your warm market. They don't know what you're doing. So you have a fresh market that you're talking to, right? So these are all things that happen. But what happens is if you do not continue that, what happens is if you don't continue that burst again, you don't be new again, then your business will come back into a standstill as well too. So top money earners are able to create momentum at any time. Leaders are momentum creators. You are a momentum creator. Did you get that? It doesn't matter what's going around in your upline, your crossline, your company or anything, or your downline. If you decide that the next 90 days are going to be the best days of your business ever, guess what's going to happen? It will be the best 90 days of your business ever. It's not up to your coach. It's not up to your downline. It's not up to your spouse. It's only up to you. I want to challenge you. Are you willing to be that momentum creator right now? Put I'm willing in the comments below. Are you willing to be the leader? The leader is the one that looks around and says, you know what? I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I'm going to go this way. Doesn't matter because your goals cannot afford it. Your family cannot afford you standstilling anymore. So I was at that point. I went up to Tim and I was like, what do I need to do? He said, all right, well, if you want to enroll, how do you enroll a bunch of people? I'm going to talk about how to enroll 10 people in 30 days. How do you enroll 10 people in 30 days? I'll be honest, when I heard 10 people, 10 partners in 30 days, I'm just like, really? Like, that sounds hard. Maybe you feel that way right now. That sounds hard. That sounds like it's a lot of work. It's like really tough. And I remember when I talked to Tim, he said, it's not that hard. Do you know how to enroll 10 people in 30 days? Very simple. Here's the tip. It's going to blow your mind. Show the business to 100 people. If you want to enroll 10 partners, show the business to 100 people. 3 a day. Even if you suck or you think you suck at recruiting, out of 10 people that see the business, 1 will get started. You might be better, maybe 2. Jim runs it. If you get 3 out of 10, you are a genius. But 1 out of 10, law of averages, you can win. 10 people to look at the business, and 1 at least will get started. So if you want 10, you want to get you'll need 100. Okay? So I saw this, and why do we need 10? You might ask as well too. Why does this change things? Here's some important statistics to understand. If you want to build your next generation, your next lions, if you want to really build, explode something, out of 10 people that get started in your business, not all 10 are going to do something. Here's a lie that happens. People say, I'm enrolling people and people are doing nothing. People are doing nothing. Well, actually, if you actually look at how many people you've enrolled, typically what happens is we think Hey, I enrolled 4 people. No one's doing anything. People must not do this business. No, that you just haven't done enough numbers. Well, James, I enrolled 20. No one's doing anything. It's an average. But you keep on going until you make the decision first and know that it's about to happen. But 10 will get one that will run in a concerted amount of time. Now, see, there's another cool thing that happens. Did you know that when you do things in a focused spurt of energy, it actually brings the average and it brings the stats lower? It makes it easier. Why? Because motion creates emotion. So if typically it's 100 people need to see the presentation and 10 get started, if you do that and you compress it into 30 days, it might be half need to watch it because there gets excitement. You know what starts happening? Depends on your compensation plan, at least the one that I'm running in. Let's say I see James Laponzi here. If James Laponzi is someone that I prospected and then he's like not doing anything yet, he's on the fence, then I get Angel Whitmire, superstar, on board. I'm going to go back to James, like, James, you wouldn't believe it. I just got a superstar on board. She's going to crush it. She's going to do amazing. If you're interested, you can get in first. I'll put her under you. If you start enrolling fast, you create these momentum opportunities where you can start creating FOMO in your business. At the same time, too, besides a logistical strategic thing of creating FOMO, you also have a different energy. Question. Here's a mindset question. If your prospect were being really honest with you right now, and you shared with them your goals and your dreams for your network marketing business, and you told them your aspirations, and you said, I'm going to be the top 1% if you're not there already. Question. Would they believe that you're going to get there with or without them? Would they believe that they're going to get there with or without them? If the answer is, I'm not sure, you haven't convinced yourself yet. But if the answer is, Gina Hill is getting there no matter what, Monica Ariano is getting there no matter what, people feel that lack of desperation. They're just like, man, I don't know where they're going, but I just know it's somewhere good. Leaders lead from the front. You're a momentum creator. People want to be on that boat. Why aim for 10? Because if you aim for 10, do you care if one doesn't do anything? Do you care if 2 don't do anything? I love people. Hey, I'm talking to a prospect today. I'm talking to a teammate today. They're like, James, I haven't been on it. I've been behind. I'm like, hey, I love you. No worries. It's all good. Why can I say that with no desperation? Because I'm enrolling 10 other people. It's like, I just know when we find the right people, you're going to work with them differently. So the challenge is 10. 10 will get you at least 1. Maybe you'll get 2, maybe you'll get 3, but at least you'll get 1. I'm telling you, all it takes is one fired up teammate to change your business for forever. One fired up teammate to change your business for forever. I see Angel Whitmire here. Shout out to Angel. She is in the top 0.1% in our company. I remember when Angel came on board, it changed the game. It changed the game. We were just out in Memphis, Tennessee together. We're collaborating on a lot of amazing things. They had, I think, like 3,000 people join their organization within a month. They're creating amazing systems and organizations and chapters, just amazing stuff. It's like, wow. All it takes is one in your business to change the game. But we do have to sort through the many. Most of us do not sort enough and don't sort fast enough to get to the actual goal. See, if you're listening to this right now, you've enrolled some people. If you're listening to this right now, you're being consistent. If you're listening to this right now, you have what it takes to be in the top 1%. It's just that many of us, it's just a time compression thing. So I remember I rolled up my sleeves and I made this decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. Let's go do this. No one else is doing it. Don't expect your team to do this. It sounds scary. This is top money earner status. Go to any coach, go to any of your mentors that are making amazing money and ask them, have you had a concentrated duration of time where you went on a recruiting spree? They will all tell you, yeah, absolutely. You find them and then you support, right? So recruit and then you support, recruit and then you support. So if you feel at a standstill, then go back to that. All right, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to make this. It's just a decision. I remember I went to Tim and kind of uncoachably, I said, I'm going to try this. I don't know if I believe you, Because in my mind, I haven't experienced it. By the way, if your mind is playing tricks on you, say, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if it's possible. You know what that just shows? It's just because you haven't done it before. That's it. Everything seems like a lie to your mind until you actually prove it out. So why not just assume if someone else can do it, then you can as well too. It's simple math. And just say, you know what? If this is what it takes to get to my goals faster, let's go. Let's go. You're going to start thinking, who am I going to talk to? Where are they going to come from? I already talked to everyone. Lies. Lies. How do I know it's a lie? Case in point, when was the last time that you got a promotion? And did you notice all of a sudden people just started coming out of the blue to buy your product, to join your business? Where did they come from? Or did they just magically happen to be excited and show up in your life during that exact week? Or is it that they were always there, but it was a mindset, it was a decision, and then the way appeared? It's always that way. So leader, top earner, let's make the decision. You're in the top 1%. We're getting there no matter what, all right? Put 1% in the comments if you're still committed with me on this. All right, let me give you some logisticals. I'm doing this right now. I'm in a season now. I'm like, the next 90 days are the most powerful 90 days of my life. I love our team. I love what's going on. I'm ready for new business. I'm ready for new lines of business. I'm ready for the next ones. Like I'm committed. So what I'm doing is very simple. This is what I did. I pulled out a simple spreadsheet or however you want to track. Some of us, I'm curious, by the way, who here is more of the digital type? Or are you more of the pen and paper type? Put that in the chat. How do you like doing things? I tried to do it pen and paper, but I wanted to be a doctor. So my handwriting is doctor handwriting. I don't read this. So I just use a simple Google Excel sheet. Some of us, I hope you don't think this. How do I get the tracker? Make a tracker. Like make a tracker, right? Like these are minor things. You don't need some fancy tracker ready. Just literally, I just pulled out a Google sheet and I'm just like, name, date I contacted them, did they watch the presentation or not? And what am I tracking? I'm tracking specifically who said yes to watching the presentation. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. Yes, you can put your whole contact list if you want. Yes, you can put down a list of if you invited them or not, or if they asked for information. For me, I'm tracking specifically the most important number is did they say yes to wanting to see the presentation? Not if they saw it or not, just if they said yes. If I got 100 yeses to someone wanting some information about the business, then that's the game. 100 yeses equals 10. So I pulled out a tracker. I took on this challenge, and every day I blocked out a time that was personal income producing activities. For me, it was first thing in the morning because it's super easy for me to getting busy, helping the team, quote unquote. By the way, who here knows that helping your team can be a distraction sometimes? Of course, serve them. Of course, help people get promoted. Of course, do all that. Of course, promote events. But the number one way for us to help our teams seriously is lead from the front. Question, if I enroll 10 people in front of you right now and you're in my team, doesn't that teach you a lot? I don't need to tell you anything. You're just like, wow, okay, I see what the leader's doing. I'm going to go follow that, right? So I'm going to make this list. I'm going to block out a time. Could be 15 minutes, could be 30 minutes, could be an hour. It doesn't matter. And what am I doing during this time? I am only doing personal income producing activity. How do you get people to look at your business? There's many different ways. There's attraction. Right? Many of your teams have attraction marketing. You have different ways. You could be converting customers if you have customers in your business. Hey, if there's a way that you can get your product for cheaper, paid for, and even make some money, are you open for some information? Yeah? Okay, cool. Hey, here's a quick video. Show your presentation, right? Just make sure these people, by the way, they need to have a business conversation. They can't just be a elevated, upgraded customer. They can't just buy for a discount being a partner in your business. They need to be somebody that they know it's a business. They have an intention. You show them a business conversation. You show them a business presentation. That counts. Okay. You could go outbound. I can go to I can go to Tammy. Tammy, hey, I'm working on something big. We found a way to make some money from your phone. Simple, something that's blowing up right now. May or may not be for you. If I could share with you some information, would you be down to take a look? Right? Like you could go outbound. Simple. Who here thinks what I just said? That's a simple thing that you might be able to say as well too, right? Put a me in the comments below. Like the simple invite. Simple invite. Outbound, inbound, attraction doesn't matter. Well, all that matters is what does it take to get to 100 people to say yes as soon as possible. So every day in my personal pipeline time, I just said, all right, here's the time. I need to make sure I just do my due. There's an infinite amount of ways to get someone to say yes, but however that you want to do it. And this is what happened. All right, I started to say yes. I started to get the information out there. And you're going to see there's a little lag time sometimes. In the first week, it's going to feel like you're talking a lot, you're having a lot of conversations, but maybe not a lot of people are enrolling, depending on how you started. You're going to be in the pipeline. Remember, there's seed, time, and harvest. Many times you don't harvest right away, but you start talking, you start sharing, you start presenting, you start inviting, you start doing all that. And you're going to start to build up this pipeline of people in your funnel. You're continuing to follow up, right? And usually by the end of the first week, you're going to start getting some people saying yes to get started. You're going to start getting some people be like, I'm ready to get started. And then keep on priming the pump. Every day, keep on sending out new outbound things. Get new people into the pipeline. The goal is 100 yeses as quickly as possible. And watch as the numbers go. So I did this. And I tracked it. And by the end of it, guess what? I looked and I shot out, there was 100 yeses. 10 of them signed up. One of them became a top earner. I see Tammy Egbert. I'm just using this example when I talked to Tim. Tammy Egbert came out of that run. He was in the top 1%. She just helped us with all of our systems and tools, and she's leading an amazing team. And I'm like, dang it, Tim, it actually worked. But when that worked, and there was so much enthusiasm, so much buzz, there was so much excitement, in 30 days, you can change your life. So the challenge is this. If you really want to be in the top 1%, if you want this year to change differently, enroll 10 people, partners in 30 days. Be very intentional. Yes, always get customers. I got a customer right today. Like always get customers. But if you really want to explode your business, then you want to find your next top leaders to be able to partner with so you can expand your impact on that. All right. So hope that's simple. If you're in on this challenge, I love seeing tag your teammates into this. You might want to do this together with some people as well too. And in the next weeks, I'll continue to drop some more tips and everything as well. So with that put, I'm in. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's have a lot of fun. On that, God bless. And we'll talk with you really soon.